Hello, everyone. Popping in from the waiting room. Hello, welcome. Just in case it's helpful, it is Monday, November 20th, 6 p.m. Central Time, my time, and this is Community-Led Medicine Buddha, because Lama Rod is not here. Um, so that's where you're logging into. I hope that's where everyone's intending to be. If not, welcome. Welcome to Medicine Buddha. um, yeah, I'm just going to take some time to scan here all of the beautiful names and faces. Welcome. Cool. Welcome everyone, like the crew who comes to the community-led medicine Buddha class, offerings. I always am like, oh, they're like, I don't know, there's some kind of sticker you can give yourself for enjoying community-led medicine Buddha as well. And I just really am honored to be able to facilitate our time together this evening. And again, welcome everyone. My name is Eric. I use he, they pronouns, and I am tuning in this evening from Minneapolis, which has been my home since 2019, on the ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Dakota, and Ojibwe, and others. I really love Minneapolis, and so I also just want to mention that about a half-hour walk straight down the road from me is George Floyd Square, and so I'm bringing, just all of it with me into this space, and I really welcome and invite all of you to do the same, whatever the realness is. Whether it's pretty or messy or smooth or turbulent, welcome all of you. Really glad you're here. So I would also like to thank Karen Z in particular, my co-host, my tech hosting co-conspirator and dear friend and just mentor and person I feel so grateful to be able to be in relationship with. For those of you who don't know me, sometimes you might see me like tech hosting Medicine Buddha. And that's usually how I'm helping to hold it down. But with Karen Z's wise, profound, discerning mentorship, I was gently invited into offering this community-led space. But I'm thankful. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Eric, here you are. Thank you all. And thank you, Karen, for the invitation. I really want to welcome, especially if this is your first time at Medicine Buddha. You didn't get Rod this week, but come on back next week, and Rod will be in town. But whenever Rod's away, we just open it up for folks from the community who would like to offer to just share. This is my understanding of the discipline we're in together, of just sharing my practice from my heart with the sincere prayer that it benefits in this lifetime or the next or previous ones or etc. May there be benefit. So welcome first timers. Please feel free to say hi in the chat if you'd like. If not, that's cool too. Please claim your supreme authority and autonomy to show up in this space in whatever way is conducive to your freedom and liberation and rest. That is, as a facilitator, what would make me most happy is everyone claiming their authority to do what is best for them through our hour together. So feel free to keep your camera off. There is some, Lama Rod said something the other day. It's like, practice what frees you. And so I'm going to be going through our usual practice together. But if that is just something you mute in the background while you do something which is more conducive to your freedom, please. Take only what is truly helpful. Like everything's too heavy already. Don't take anything that makes your load heavier. You know what I'm saying? um, yeah. So Karen, if you could please drop the prayer doc. If any of you have prayers that you would like to offer this evening. Karen probably has already dropped that in the chat, but I don't have the chat open because I'm a newbie at being on this side of the situation. Ah, beautiful. How are we doing on time, Eric? Not great, but what is time? Yeah, please offer whatever is on your heart that you would like to share, and seek the support and skillfulness of Medicine Buddha to send out into the world, into the universe this evening. I just want to prioritize your ease and comfort. That's really what I care about. So let that be a kind of theme. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about who I am. So I'm following Lama Rod's template that he dutifully set down in his the set of resources that he has for folks who want to offer community-led practice. So it's a good template. So I'm just going to share a little bit about who I am, and then a little bit about what Medicine Buddha means to me. And then the practice that I'll offer this evening is actually just a reading of the practice of the Four Sweet Liberations from the New Saints, Lama Rod's latest book. I hope you like it. And if you don't, that's great too. I won't be offended. Yeah, and then we'll do our first part of chanting as usual. We'll offer the prayers together, our concluding chanting, and then end with Shantideva's prayer. Yeah, and then someone will shepherd's crook me off the stage. Mark, help me. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Mark's got me. Mark will shepherd's crook me. Yeah. How are we doing? How's that all landing? If you want to gesticulate awesome, awesome. Thank you. That's very helpful. Very helpful for me. So who am I? Well, I. Cool. Who am I? So I am the community groundskeeper for Bhumi Sparsha. That's one hat that I wear. I'm also work as a collaborator with Team Rod, for lack of a better phrase. But this evening I'm here simply as a co-practitioner who has just invested a lot of time and energy and love and learning into Medicine Buddha in this space. And so that's how I'm showing up. As I said, I live in Minneapolis. But I also just want to, a part of the landedness, there's a landedness with Minneapolis that I feel. I feel like Minneapolis, I found my home, which is something that I didn't know I would ever find. And so then I'm very interested in the landedness, and I know nothing about the histories of this land. Although I'm always deepening, but I mean, really, I just am always in this awe-inspiring, constantly being humbled relationship with the land. And it's part of the reason I love it so much, I think. But my ancestry also, is from the British Isles and Switzerland in particular, and whatever else. But as a part of that, I also want to name that a part of what I'm bringing into the space today is this deepening connection with Druidry and Druidcraft and Celtic spirituality that I'm just beginning to Well, I finally feel ready, frankly. So I'm just beginning my journey, but want to just name those resources as well. Yeah, just alongside my Buddha Dharma identity or whatever, that those energies are really present in the space with me and like inform my whiteness and cisness and maleness and everything else. Um, I also am a teacher with Inward Bound Mindfulness Education, which is a really, really, really dope organization that does mindfulness retreats to teens, and they never turn a teen away for lack of funds. Check them out, ibme.org or something like that. Um, and I really, really enjoy that work and doing this, mindfulness in like the broadest possible understanding of that term, embodiment and just helping, being able to share my okayness with teens. And then like we have like mutual okayness together, and then like so many beautiful things happen as a result. I think that's really what that work is for me. Um, yeah, I if you really knew me, you'd know that Christianity is my first spiritual path. My path has been very turbulent, by the way, so this is just going to be a very finger painty little sketch because it's a lot. So I don't know if anyone in this space resonates with the like incoherence of their spiritual journey. That might just be me. Um, yeah, but you know, was so passionate about Christianity and Christ and the love of Jesus that I had come out as queer under like very complicated, dramatic, like High School Musical circumstances when I was a senior in high school. Um, and I was so committed to pursuing a path in Christian ministry that I went back in the closet before moving to Los Angeles, where I began like a Pentecostal Christian ministry training program. So I'm not just Christian, I was like Holy Spirit Christian. And I still am, frankly, but that's how I started. And then, as I went into college, I started getting really, well, after a lot of wounding, I started getting really interested in art as spiritual practice. And, as a theater kid, theater queer, any theater queers up in here? Well, I see you. Yeah, okay, beautiful. My people. And dancer, but it was, always related to spiritual practice for me, like in one way or another. And then after college, I just, for reasons I don't really understand, got really clear messaging about wanting to dig deeper into the Dharma as a way of getting free. And then that ended up meeting Lama Rod in grad school. I refer to Lama Rod as Rod frequently because we met as Rod and Eric in grad school. So met Lama Rod as mutual students along with Sister Siddhartha in our MDiv programs. And yeah, I met Rod on a rooftop in Cambridge, Cambridge, Massachusetts. And that was that. I was like, I would like to continue learning from you and collaborating with you, Lama Rod, as long as that's conducive to freedom for everyone. Yeah, ooh, my timing's not too bad. Good job, Eric. Yeah, there's a lot more to be said about the twists and turns of my spiritual path, but I fundamentally see my practice as just like being grounded in the intentions and aspirations of chaplaincy. It's like the only way I know how to, like, it's like the only category that like adequately is like, I don't know, I'm here to care. kind of a thing. And so I'm just really interested in anything that makes care real and simple and um, accessible, to like real people on the ground doing their best to stay alive. Um, yeah, and to be a little bit more transparent about, well, no, actually, I'm going to wait. Um, so that's a little bit about me, and that's good enough for now. But I just wanted to share a little bit about what Medicine Buddha means to me, because after grad school in 2019, I know everyone, has a story like around that time, or a couple, into 2020. But my story was one of a slow but intense disintegration into feeling like I was a bad person in a bad world with a bad future, you know. Um, and a part of this, and this was, maybe some folks are familiar with this term of moral injury, and I think that's the best term that works for me. That term's also important because if you really knew me, there was a stint where I was training to be a Buddhist chaplain in the military. And so moral injury has always been this kind of like, what's going on here? Like, what kind of situations do we put ourselves in where we no longer believe we live in a good world, or that we are like fundamentally incapable of being good beings, and so it's ironic because I like was thinking about this as like an intellectual question and also like undergoing it simultaneously, and I didn't know it was happening at the time. But a lot of my research and my organizing and obsessing and creating and talking till 3 a.m. with like Dharma friends, trying to make sense of things, was around the bioethics or the social ethics of whiteness and collective healing, and like what any of this means. And so I studied lynching. I really spent a lot of time just thinking about that reality as a white person, thinking about lynching theologically. Yeah, and then I moved to Minneapolis in 2019, and then in 2020. So it just fell apart in this like really with this really intense negativity, nihilism, capital N. And it wasn't even that I was like mopey about it or something. I was like, no, this is fact. Like I'm just looking around me. And like I like had done too much work on myself to like compromise like whatever like layer of honesty and integrity was in that clarity that I was having. I like had no way to mute it. And no way to exist in relationship to it as well. So it was just, that was just my experience at that time. And so there was a multiple year period where I just, it was a miracle to make it through each day, and I've talked about this and other things. And I had a lot of flower teachers. Oh my God, without flowers, y'all. God bless the flowers. Yeah. And then Medicine Buddha was going on, but like the intensity of being in a relationship with other people, this just wasn't, there was some incoherence to it. I was like, this is too much. But I would like sometimes, like once every other month, like pop in to Medicine Buddha on Crowdcast at the time. Raise your hands if y'all were a part of the Crowdcast days. Yeah, yeah, I see you. And if you weren't, it's cool. It was just another platform. Um, and like I could listen to Rod's like opening bit, but like the chanting was too much. Everything was too, the practicing was too much. My practicing was taking my next breath and achieving that for a long time. But I would come in and like slowly, and I don't know what has happened. I don't really care. But like, I just had my 33rd birthday on September 22nd. And like, I woke up that morning on retreat, focusing on Medicine Buddha. And I was like, it doesn't, like, I am alive. I'm still here. Like, whew. And all those days when it was like, I don't know how I'm going to still be here. Here I am, and it's not just this, it's not that I'm still here. There's also like Medicine Buddha, this practice, and I wrote down, has helped me in the abandoning hope of cleaning the wreckage and fear of being destroyed by it. And like, that's just, I haven't conquered that. Like, I still like have hope and fear, right? I haven't achieved the nth boomy. But it's helped. That's what the healing has been for me. Yeah. Well, so off time, but that's, screw time. So I did just want to get myself together enough. So James Baldwin is really important. It's just really important. It's really important. Period. In addition, James Baldwin is very important to me. And James Baldwin wrote this essay, The Creative Process. And like, it's like some addendum to the Heart Sutra or something. I highly recommend it if anyone hasn't read it before. But in this essay, James Baldwin writes, "It goes without saying, I believe, that if we understood ourselves better, we would damage ourselves less. But the barrier between oneself and one's knowledge of oneself is high indeed. There are so many things one would rather not know." I almost don't want to add much onto that, to be honest. But that's, I view, and like, props to Lama Rod, who has presented this lineage practice to us in a way that has given us permission to be who we are, which includes all of our creative. And Medicine Buddha is a creative process for me. And maybe that's the same as saying healing is a creative process for me, which checks out. That checks out. And I hope that checks out for anyone else. May our healing be like shamelessly creative. Yeah. Okay. So if it's okay with y'all, I would like to stop talking about myself and move into practice together. How are we doing?
You're amazing.
Yes, cool. Awesome. Thank you. I feel held by each of you. What a weird, like, virtual but held, like it's real but it's also not. It's so interesting. All right, so my friends, just, if you're not relaxed yet, please, do whatever you require to claim your rest in this moment. Um, so this will be kind of in two parts. In the first part, just in case there's folks, and this is like a ways into the book, you know, the book just came out, and if you haven't gotten to page 127 yet, don't stress. But that's where this is from, about the practice of the four sweet liberations from the New Saints. And so I'm just going to read a brief bit about each sweet liberation, just to get a sense of the qualities that Lama Rod is invoking and inviting us to claim, which are the sweet liberations of leisure, beauty, opulence, and pleasure. And so we'll just get a taste of those, and then I will just go low and slow reading through the practice of the four sweet liberations that Lama Rod offers at the end of the chapter. Sweet liberation of leisure. Leisure is the experience of slowing down. I notice fatigue in my body, and that fatigue asks me to tend to it. I want to allow my body to settle in a position that feels restorative. I want to offer the concerns of the moment to the space I encounter. When I experience leisure, I imagine offering this energy out to all beings so that they can experience what I'm experiencing now. On the sweet liberation of beauty. I have grieved more the passing of André Leon Talley than I have for the passing of most of my lineage spiritual teachers. The grieving is so intense because I am missing someone who had been reflecting to me my right to choose something different for myself. I am missing someone who is telling me I have the right to be seen, to fuck up systematic erasure and choose the good stuff for myself. I am missing someone who helped me to understand that beauty is restorative, and my claiming of beauty and even elegance is transhistorical emotional labor that I am doing not just for myself, but for all my ancestors, whose land and forced labor were stolen to make white people and America beautiful and revered. On the sweet liberation of opulence. The outward, mundane experience of opulence is richness, abundance, and seeing the world as full of resources, both material and energetic, even though we feel as if we do not have access to these resources. When I start opening to the richness around me, I allow my mind and body to start to experience that need to be nourished. In nourishment, I feel less anxious and can relax and expand my awareness into this space opening in and around me. When I can just be in this expansion without clinging or shutting down, I enter the state of repletion, in which I transcend both craving and aversion. I dedicate the most and best of everything out to all beings so that they experience opulence and the healing that comes with having what they need. On the sweet liberation of pleasure. Pleasure is related to enjoyment. Enjoyment in this case is the experience of holding space for everything that arises without reacting to it. When we feel enjoyment, we enter a fluid space where we can shift awareness to what feels good in our minds and bodies. This shifting of awareness of what feels good is desire. When I am doing the emotional labor of holding space, desire is something I can choose to enjoy. Now moving into Lama Rod's practice of the four sweet liberations. To begin with, shift your attention to the energy of leisure. Start reflecting on things that you find relaxing and restorative. As you reflect, imagine that the energy of leisure begins to awaken in your heart center as white light. As you inhale, imagine breathing into the heart center the energy of leisure, feeling that the breath is intensifying this energy. As you exhale, imagine exhaling the energy of leisure as white light throughout the body, an internal exhale. Keep breathing like this until you experience your whole body full of the energy of leisure. What does it feel like to be filled with the essence of leisure? How does your body want to respond to this energy? Can you allow your body to respond? Next, shift your attention to the energy of beauty. Start reflecting on things that you find beautiful. As you reflect, imagine that the energy of beauty begins to awaken in your heart center as white light. As you inhale, imagine breathing into the heart center the energy of beauty, feeling that the breath is intensifying this energy. As you exhale, imagine exhaling the energy of beauty as white light throughout the body, an internal exhale. Keep breathing like this until your whole body is full of the energy of beauty. What does it feel like to be filled with the essence of beauty? How does your body want to respond to this energy? Can you allow your body to respond? Next, shift your attention to the energy of opulence. Start reflecting on things that you feel are abundant and opulent. As you reflect, imagine that the energy of opulence begins to awaken in your heart center as white light. As you inhale, imagine breathing into the heart center the energy of opulence, feeling that the breath is intensifying this energy. As you exhale, imagine exhaling the energy of opulence as white light throughout the body, an internal exhale. Keep breathing like this until you experience your whole body full of the energy of opulence. What does it feel like to be filled with the essence of opulence? How does your body want to respond to this energy? Can you allow your body to respond? And lastly, shifting your attention to the energy of pleasure. Start reflecting on things that you enjoy. As you reflect, imagine that the energy of pleasure begins to awaken in your heart center as white light. As you inhale, imagine breathing into the heart center the energy of pleasure, feeling that the breath is intensifying this energy. As you exhale, imagine exhaling the energy of pleasure as white light throughout the body, an internal exhale. Keep breathing like this until you experience your whole body full of the energy of pleasure. How does your body want to respond to this energy? What does it feel like to be filled with the essence of pleasure? Can you allow your body to respond? We'll now move into the concluding portion and just want to remind folks that you have supreme authority and autonomy to move through any of these practices in any way that supports your actual freedom and liberation. So, invitations around light or breath, make changes. Make changes. And if Rod wants to correct me on that, he can. Please do whatever you need. Now imagine that all these awakened energies begin to merge together within your body, beginning to radiate with the radiance of these liberations. Like a star, let yourself radiate clear, pure light into the darkness of depletion. Imagine that your light begins to illuminate others in your life who need to experience this restoration. Imagine that everyone your light touches begins to experience replenishment. At the same time, continue to drink in this energy all the way down to your DNA and atoms. As Lama Rod always says, if you're good here, we'll see you around. um, please enjoy the resplendence of the four sweet liberations, which are your birthright, in my opinion. For those who feel moved to continue into our chanting, the chanting portion of our practice, and working with the mantra of Medicine Buddha, I invite you to move your body in whatever way is responsive to energy that needs to be shifted. um, yeah. I kept having this thread as I was reading the teachings of just wanting to say, I don't think I'll ever be able, I don't have any ambition of fixing everything that I wish could be fixed in here, you know. But life has become joyful again. Joy has become possible in a way that I didn't think was possible anymore. And I just wanted to say that. And I hope that anyone who gleans any benefit from Medicine Buddha, the Medicine Buddha practice, and being in this community, and anyone who watches this recording in the future, may, with all sincerity, you feel joy as a result of sustained relationship and freedom with this practice. Okay. I'm just going to turn on my original sound because I always am telling Rod that, and so it would seem very hypocritical if I didn't do that. Okay. Thank you, Karen, for sharing the prayer doc. Please feel free to offer that. And just, yeah, for me, mantra is power. It's training in power, free power. So I'm very happy to be able to share this with all of you. Yeah. So we'll just begin with one Om, followed by our opening mantra, Om Menla Sangye Kino Soha, 3 times. And that will be shared in the chat shortly. And this is the invocation of Medicine Buddha. For me, it's like, all right, the drag is on. I'm ready to Medicine Buddha and I are ready to walk out on stage. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Karen, could we do the Om Menla Sangye? Oh, awesome. Thank you. Cool. Medicine Buddha, I pray that you know and look upon me now. And then she takes my hand and we strut onto stage together. That's my visualization. And so just one Om to open, followed by the mantra 3 times. Om Menla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Menla Sangye Kino Soha. Om men la sange kino soha. And then moving into our main mantra. Like this, I pray for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. And I release the energy of this prayer out to all the worlds so that all may be liberated. Again, we'll begin with an Om before going into the mantra. Om Te Ata Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Rajasumungate Soha. 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 Te ata begenze begenze Sangate Soha. And now turning to the prayer doc, please feel free to add if you haven't done so already. And I invite all the guardians, lineages, ancestors, elemental forces, protectors, Yidams and deities throughout the 10 directions and the 3 times and the 3 realms to please be with us as we give voice to these prayers. And may Medicine Buddha and their entourage, their gathered assembly of beings in alliance with healing and liberation, heed our sincere request to actualize these prayers without any prejudice, bias, scent of domination, all ringing with the sweetness of freedom. Hear our prayer. Prayers for Remy as they navigate a hard week of testing. Prayers for myself, for spaciousness, clarity, and creativity. Prayers for our cat Fig. May he remain healthy and free from stress. Prayers for Mosab Abu Toha, the Palestinian poet who was recently abducted by the IOF. May he and all other abducted Palestinians be released as soon as possible. Prayers for all victims, survivors, and descendants of genocide. May they be set free and healed, and may they have the chance to rebuild their lives. Prayers for my closest friend who recently suffered a stroke. Prayers for myself as I navigate through so many difficult situations. May I be supported. Prayers for my friend who recently lost his young son to gun violence. May this world be for everyone. Prayers for the Palestinians, prayers for Abby, prayers for Greg's family as his brother suffers from cancer. Prayers for all those fighting and suffering from injustice. Prayers for me to continue on my heart's path and find dependable, solid income so I can contribute to a life and home with my partner. Prayers of Eric and his beautiful heart, for his glorious life, and for everyone's heart and everyone's life as well. Thank you. Prayers for the new St. Paul City Council. May you be safe and powerful and empowered. Prayers for me to relax and settle, to savor and trust, to open to myself, to find my purpose and work with my karma, so I can be softer, more grounded, to not resist my pain, to enjoy my life, to love me, and to love you. Prayers for freedom from anxiety and a calmer heart, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Prayers that I might start sleeping better to help alleviate the anxiety over numerous health situations and the world turmoil, including our country. Most especially the people in both Palestine and Israel who have been and are suffering immeasurably. May all the hostages be freed. May all be free in every way. For JL, who just delivered a premature baby, and prayers for the baby. For Helena in the hospital, prayers of gratitude and protection for Lama Rod. Prayers for my heart as it breaks. Allow the light to shine through the cracks and liberate my true authenticity so that I can radiate love and light to my community and the world. Prayers for myself, my baby, and my partner as we get ready to usher this sweet baby into the world in the next 3 or 4 weeks. May we have the right hands to carry us both through this process with skill, love, ease, protection, and joy. Prayers that Medicine Buddha will be present with us over the course of the next 6 months to support the health of me, my baby, and our family as we open to this transition. Prayers for us to provide all that's needed to liberate this fresh being. Prayers from my mother AA and her continued healing and self-discovery. Prayers for support and protection as I develop a relationship with my ancestors and all of the cyclical trauma that they bear and have passed down to me. May I break these patterns and heal my ancestors and descendants while not bearing things that are too much for me, not mine. Prayers for Nicole to quickly overcome cancer. Prayers for Selma as she navigates the bardo. Prayers that everyone can experience okayness. Prayers for Jews and Palestinians to have peace and care. Prayers for all to have peace and care. Prayers for all of us healing our attachment patterns so we may realize love instead of violence in our relationships. Prayers for liberation of all beings. Prayers for all the students struggling right now. Prayers for peace in Palestine and a cessation of all hostilities and horrors of war, for safety for all civilians. For Lama Rod, that he feels held by this community as we feel held. Once again, attuning to the energy of support all around us, the infinite benefactors within and beyond this galaxy, within and beyond this planet, seen and unseen. With heartfelt sincerity and gratitude for support that is real, please work on our behalf to accomplish these prayers. Please protect all of these practitioners from all obstacles and harm. Please remove all obstacles to their swift and inevitable liberation, their swift and inevitable enlightenment as children of the Great Mother. For this we sincerely pray. Now turning back to our mantra for just a few more moments. Om Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Raza Sungate Soa Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Raza Sungate Soa Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Raza Sungate Soa Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Raza Sungate Soa Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Raza Sungate Soa Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Raza Sungate Soa Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Raza Sungate Soa Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Raza Sungate Soa Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze Raza Sungate Soa Te Ata Om Begenze Begenze Maha Begenze raza sumungate soa. Te ata begenze, maha begenze, 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 raja sumungate soa. Te ata begenze, maha begenze, raja sumungate soa. Te ata begenze, maha begenze, raja sumungate soha. Te ata begenze, maha begenze, raja sumungate soha. And now, moving to close with Shantideva's prayer. And before I offer this prayer, I sincerely apologize for any way that my speech has harmed you this evening. I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, apologize for creating any obstacles to your freedom. Your grace and forgiveness are an unspeakable gift. I couldn't do this without all of you. None of us can, I don't think. And we may hurt each other, and I'm sorry if I have. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like until everyone is healed, just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. And if there are two others who would like to offer the last two rounds, just feel free to unmute.
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, and a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space.
May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space.
Thank you all so much for I have this perception that others are just caught in my storm, y'all, and I'm okay with it. I feel secure in that. If that's what it felt like for you, I am grateful that you stuck in with the storm. I had a lot of fun doing this really important work with all of you. I dedicate whatever benefit will come from our time together. One, to may Lama Rod Owens enjoy the four sweet liberations in ceaseless opulence. He's good. He's a good guy. So may he just have everything that he needs and more, because he'll probably just give it away. So, and in addition, I just lift up once again all of the prayers that were offered, and also I lift up all of the prayers left unsaid, no less sacred and holy. And just want to dedicate my personal gratitude for everyone here, this whole space, everything it represents, and everything that we have been building together. You know, maybe it's formed, maybe it's not formed, I don't know. But when I think about hard times ahead, I feel better knowing y'all are out there. Yeah, and may we all be free as soon as possible. Thank you, everyone.